Many people in the world raise tough questions. And they raise tough questions, they need tough answers, and they need specific answers. In Africa, we have unanswered questions. So many things have happened on our continent. Changes have come on our continent. But we have never answered some of the questions as to why we find ourselves in such a circumstance. And such circumstances, like the way we find ourselves with military coups coming back on the continent of Africa in most of the parts, conflicts coming in most of the parts of Africa, economy going down, corruption killing us in most part of Africa, impeachments, terrorism, security breaches, countries being taken over by terrorists and terror cells that bomb people day in, day out. But does Africa tell its story? Where do we get all this courage not to tell our story? This show, the tough questions, need tough answers. This show is introduced by the Punchline Africa TV and by myself. I will be tabling tough questions every Friday. Get tuned on this show. When you get our clip, look at it, listen to us. If you have something to add on to what we have talked, come up and tell us. Africa needs to tell its story. Do we tell our story, or we copy just what and how the media in the West has been programmed? Do we sit, or we sit in front of the prompter and talk about things that we don't know? Do we think about what we are talking about? Do we answer the real questions? Do we take tough questions, hide them? Why do we always beg? Why do we always talk about hunger? Yet we have plenty of what other people don't have. Israel, for example, does not have the laxity that we have in Africa. No rainfall, no rivers, only a desert. But it produces enough food. Isn't it time, therefore, for Africa to stand up and start asking the tough questions? This show, therefore, will be a show every Friday and a Monday for tough questions at the beginning of the week and tough questions at the end of the week on Africa and the global and the regional news. If you have any tough question that has never been answered by anybody, send it to us on africastrategy@hotmail.com. That is my email. And call us. On Monday, we shall introduce the calling in on these tough questions. You can call us and ask us a question via telephone, and you will be heard worldwide. And that is why I brought this show, the tough questions.